It's just a real buzz. On a day like this, perfect.
They're about 3 times as fast as a car and about twice as fast as a tube.
Fast. Bloody fast.
Definitely have to be a bit strange.
Okay.
I usually ride a racing bike, but I mean mountain bikes have got advantages because basically they're indestructible, and because like everything's at your fingertips, you know, like the brakes and the gears.
Why do I ride a mountain bike?
You can treat it really badly and it won't get damaged so much.
Don't get buckled wheels.
Don't get punctures.
Good strong wheels.
It goes fast.
Easier to ride.
It's worth the money.
More trendy.
Everybody's got a mountain bike these days, that's the thing.
10 years ago, you could have passed this gear off as fancy dress. Today, everyone seems to be wearing it because everyone seems to be into mountain biking. Thousands of people are taking to the mountains, tens of thousands to the streets, and now the thing to get into is competition.
You get 400, 500 people turn up to a race and it's all very regimented and you've got different classes and different speeds and it's getting very, very serious at the top now.
As soon as the snow's thawed out after the ski season, the mountains become the perfect playground for bikes. And on either side of the Atlantic now, there are major pro circuits exploiting the newly discovered potential with these recently adapted toys.
Well, they were invented in California in the early 1970s. Some guys got ordinary beach cruisers and they decided what they wanted was to put a bit more life in them and not just pose around on the beach, but actually get up into the scenery of California, up into the mountains. And they sort of cobbled together and put 10 and then 15 gears on and turned them into what now is a mountain bike.
People are able to sit up in a lot more comfortable position instead of down in the drop bars, and you can look around you a lot more, and it's just a lot more comfortable ride. And the tires are a lot wider, and they also have more rubber on them, more knobbies they're called, and it gives a little bit more comfortable ride as well.
See the tires and the rims, the frame, it's very strong, the design is strong and the riding position is fairly aggressive for that type of thing.
And mountain bikes are actually provided with very wide bars to give you, you know, like the maximum amount of steerability going and hold-on ability when you're going through woods and up and down mountains.
But yeah, that's you know, that's why people tend to ride. Whoops.
High five.
Every week on Europe's ultimate sports show, there are superb prizes to be won, including snowboards, a whitewater kayak, wind surfboards, and a fabulous jet ski. This week on Ultra Sport, you could be the owner of a high-tech mountain bike if you can answer this question. How many speeds do Muddy Fox bikes have? Send your answers to Muddy Fox Competition, Super Channel, 14 Lanark Square, London, E14 92D. That's Muddy Fox Competition, Super Channel, 14 Lanark Square, London, E14 92D in England.
Take me away.
In Europe, competition means cross-country, an all-around test of mountain bike skills. Uphill, downhill, and the bits in between.
You'll disappear off into the mountains for 3 hours and one long loop and then come back to the finish line. And in any one race, there'll be a lot of climbing involved, a lot of tearing down mountainsides and flat work, getting your bike off your bike and running up hills with it on your shoulder and running through rivers, and basically anything the terrain gives the race organisers, they'll use against you in a mountain bike race.
Woods look nice.
It's an effort just to get around the course.
And the secret is try to keep control. The faster you can go, but still keeping control, the better descender you are.
Like you can feel yourself going up and down, you know, like as the bike's rolling down the hill, you're sort of like going over nooks and crannies and bits and bobs. And it's just feeling the wind in your face, your hair, and just a pure sense of pure freedom.
Wheel with a broader wheel and a tougher tyre, you're not so likely to get punctures or to have a twisted wheel, and that's the big advantage.
It's a race against you and the hill. You're timed over a distance uphill, where you basically race uphill until your guts fall out, and fastest person wins. It's like time trialling, only uphill.
On the US side of the Atlantic, they like to break the different bike skills down into individual disciplines.
The top's somewhere up that way.
And hill climbing is just one of them.
Break, break.
And they'll have something called observed trials, which is basically they set out a very tight course over very rough obstacles, which you have to ride without putting your feet down. If you put your foot down, that's a dab, and that counts as so many points. And obviously, the more dabs you get, the more points you score, and the person with the highest points is lowest down the list. So the person who puts their foot down least wins, basically.
Better your thing, boy. What do you think you're doing over there? Stop staring at me like that. And don't look so hard. Oh, I like it like this. Well, I think I'm having fun. What do you think you're having? Don't touch me over there. Oh, that feels good. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, baby.
Mountain biking? Yeah. I'm going fishing. I don't know about mountain biking. What's going on here?
This aluminum seat is really not as uncomfortable as it looks. You can really tolerate to sit on it while you wait your turn in a section or while you're bragging afterwards.
The bikes used in trials are designed specifically to cope with the obstacles, but the regular mountain bike is rugged enough for most situations. One of its toughest tests is coping with city life. The mountain bike has been adopted as the tool of the trade by the townie cycle couriers, a tough tribe of buccaneering cyclists who make a living from cycling the streets.
Right, I've got to go.
Okay. Do you get fed up with saying Roger Roger all the time?
Roger, Roger.
You need the mountain bike because those, the road bikes, just the wheels get wrecked just really easily. Whereas the mountain bikes are far better for like bunny hopping up curves and stuff.
Dodging in and out of traffic and avoiding buses.
There's not many jobs you can do where it's you have that sort of sense of adventure. Not that I'm a danger freak or anything like that, but it's just nice to be able to come quite close to the edge.
You have to have a sort of psychotic instinct to want to do currying. It's a hard job and it sort of, makes money. I enjoy it. But, there's no such thing as an old courier.
There we go, right.
I like it because I hate desk work. I've done temping, 9 to 5, all that. And I hate it.
It's enjoyable cycling around the city, sitting in the parks and stuff, soaking up the sun.
Well, I've been cycling in London for 15 years, and I've had only one argument with a car, in which a car came off worse because I managed to knock off its inside near mirror when it suddenly changed course.
It's one of the few jobs where you're licensed to really sort of strut your stuff and where, like as a bloke can wear shorts and skimpy clothing.
I don't see any way you can cycle without cycling shorts.
No, I'm not in it for the posing. I'm just, it's just a laugh, that's all. It's just good money, it's a laugh.
No, that's what I was saying. It's not because you're a fashion victim.
I wear this gear because it's more convenient to wear, I suppose, in weather like this.
I work purely on a sort of functional basis.
I think it's very much a definite sort of style thing. Everybody says, I only got my bike for work. So whatever anybody tells you, it's definitely about image, definitely.
Right.
Does it have to be really this close up?
I've never thought it would be like this.
It's been christened the War on the Floor, and with good reason. The game's called